Hello there guys, Raj here. I hope all of you are doing well. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my thoughts on a fragrance from HERMES. This is actually now my second video in 2 days, so on a bit of a roll. I thought, why stop? I haven't been consistent enough in the past, so let's keep it going while I can. So this fragrance, H24, I got myself a couple of samples. These are the official ones from HERMES, and this fragrance came out in 2021, and I remember when it came out, I think towards the early part of 2021, there was a kind of like a mixed, I didn't watch too many reviews, a couple of reviews, and there seemed to be like a mixed, lukewarm reaction to this one. I was still keen to get my nose on it and did recently, and got a couple of samples. So yeah, okay, H24, this is the Eau de Toilette. I think, just gonna say it from the start, I think they need to come out with either an Eau de Parfum version or an intense version, because the scent for me, like just how it smells from start to finish, I think is really nice. But it is definitely let down by performance, but I do think that warm weather does bring out or pulls the scent out of your skin a lot more, and actually becomes a lot more noticeable in the dry down, especially. That was my experience so far. We're having some warm weather here in the UK this week. So, Christine Nagel is the perfumer behind this one. When this fragrance was released, I didn't see it confirmed by Hermes, but the name H24, it did make me immediately think of their flagship store in Paris, which is on a street called Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré, and so that's and the number is 24, so I reckon there's a connection there probably somewhere. I'm going to show a picture of the rooftop of that building, because on the rooftop of that building is a garden, and a particular fragrance that was inspired by that garden is of course from the Jardin series, and this one is Un Jardin sur le Toit, which literally means a garden on the rooftop. And I think H24 borrows from this and generally the Jardin line, and I will come on to that in a second. This is one of my favorite fragrances. So in terms of the note breakdown for this one, fairly simple. I think there is a bit more to it in terms of what I pick up, but clary sage, narcissus, rosewood, and a molecule called sclarene, which is supposed to be some sort of metallic, woody, musky kind of give a feel to the fragrance. And what was interesting about this scent is that this was the first men's targeted, or specifically for men. I mean, anyone can wear this fragrance, but it was the first one since Terre d'Hermes back in 2006, and that was when Jean-Claude Ellena was the in-house perfumer. Obviously now Christine Nagel has taken over the last, I actually don't know exactly how long, but probably a handful of years now. So they describe this as a high-tech fougere, a fusion of raw materials, electric, invigorating, metallic is how they describe some of the individual notes. So I think the opening of this fragrance is absolutely fantastic. It smells very similar to some of the notes found in the Jardin line, and I feel like that Jardin line actually has become a little bit bloated. There are a few too many fragrances that all are starting to smell the same, and the H24 kind of follows in those footsteps, even though it's not part of that garden series. But for what it's worth, you do get this wonderful crisp, not too juicy, but I pick it up as a mango. So not like an opened up mango, but the skin, or the rind, or yeah, the skin of like a mango that's ready to be cut open. You put it to your nose and you can smell that kind of green, waxy sweetness. There's a bit of a floral sweetness. I don't know what narcissus smells like individually. I wouldn't mind getting my nose on it in a sort of isolated form, but it adds a kind of sweet, airy touch to this fragrance, I think. There's also a wateriness, like imagine a kind of lemon water. It gives you the feel of the scent of fruit and green leaves in the air. You know, I mentioned garden on the roof earlier. You could be walking through some sort of botanical gardens or something like this, and H24 does give me that feel. I've got these 2 samples and they're only 2 ml each. They're 2 ml each, which gave me 4 ml in total, and I was thinking that might be enough, but I probably need another 2, 3, 4 of these samples because you do need to spray on quite a lot. Longevity is not exactly the strong point of this fragrance. Technically it lasts on my skin all day, but the opening couple of hours are where it's most noticeable. Then it does become very close to the skin. But I notice warm weather really pulls out the base notes in this fragrance, which I'll come on to in a second. So you get all of that in the opening and it's wonderful, it really, really is. And this fragrance slowly transitions away from that into something which is kind of like I would describe as a green, mossy, slightly mossy, gentleman's grooming product, like deodorant maybe, a bit of a shaving cream feel. I actually would love to smell this fragrance in a shaving cream, like with a brush and everything. I think that would be amazing. And there's a hint of that in there. It's actually quite nice. I quite like it. It's a very clean, crisp, very professional kind of scent. A type of scent that I would probably only really want to wear in a warmer or cooler weather. Probably not winter, but most of the year round. And so, you know, we're off to a good start, I would say, in the first opening few hours. No problems. I really liked what I was detecting. Now, I mentioned it does fade, and it does become very close to the skin. And I noticed a few days ago, I went to the gym, wore this during the day, and as I was working out in the evening, and the body was sweating and warming up, the base notes, which I wasn't really picking up on, really came through. And actually, kind of started to change my mind about this fragrance because it smelled really fantastic. I loved it in the base. I was getting what I would describe as kind of a kind of scented water that you would put into an iron, and you kind of, I'm not necessarily saying that it smells like doing the ironing, but it smells like that water that you would maybe add, and the scent of it mixed in with the steam. It doesn't really give me like a freshly laundered or pressed clothing. It's more the iron and the steam and the water before it actually presses the cloth, which is quite a specific thing to kind of pick up on. But that's what I get, and I actually really like it. It's clean white musks, a little bit sweet, really good. Like, I do like it. It's not exactly the most exciting or interesting scent, but sometimes you just need something a little bit more simple, and I actually do appreciate what H24 does. So is that, you know, am I going to be like profusely sweating every time I wear this fragrance in the base? No, I would like it to have a lot more presence on my skin. I'm not really somebody who takes a decant with me and wants to reapply after like 2-3 hours. You know, I don't mind reapplying, you know, after say, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours has passed, and then I'm going out later on and I want to top up to last me until the end of the day. That's, you know, into the evening, that's cool. But I think this one doesn't quite meet that kind of threshold for performance and longevity. But you know what, if you can ignore that, fine. This scent I think would really, really work in those times when maybe you just come back from work, maybe you're just chilling, on a Sunday afternoon and you just want something light and refreshing and crisp. This would work really, really well. There are many other fragrances that do that though for a much cheaper price, and this certainly doesn't come cheaply, but I think it's worth checking out. I'm waiting out for the EDP or the intense version, which I would like to see HERMES to come out with. But yeah, I think overall I'm going to give this a rating of 7 out of 10. A lot of potential in here, a lot of potential to be great. I wouldn't mind HERMES, you know, they've done vetiver flankers of various other fragrances, so maybe adding something a bit more earthy into the base might push this one out a little bit more. Something like that, something along those lines would really work. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and you know, I have an Instagram page if you want to check that out as well. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee page if you'd like to contribute and you like what I do. Of course, if you like what I do also, you can just hit the like button and subscribe. That will be much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.